Hello and welcome to the channel. A special welcome to all the new subscribers. Great to see you on board. But let's get on with the tying. Today I'm going to tie a squirrel nymph with a holographic flashback. It's a very simple tying. I have in the vise a size 14 light nymph hook with a 3.3 copper bead. Now it is fair to say that I prefer this in a size 16, but I'm tying it in a 14 so you can see what I'm doing. It is a fairly simple tie, but a very effective fly, especially at the beginning of the season, but it can catch fish all through the year. Right, I'm using 12-0 black thread. I'm going to tie in a tail, and it is Coq de Lion, medium pardo. And I'll take off, I don't know, 6 or 7 fibres. As I said before, it is really up to you about the thickness of the tail. Some people like it thinner than others, or finer. So there we go, I'll tie that in at the top, pull that to length, and tie it down. And trim off the excess. I'm going to use a rib, and for that I'm going to use a red wire. Now if you want to use copper, that's fair enough. But the red gives it just that little bit of extra flash. So I'll tie that in. Put that in the spring. Now for the holographic flashback, I'm going to use this claret holographic. It's just a little more subdued than red. So I'll take off a length. And I'm going to double that over and tie it in. It's obviously important that you get this actually on the top of the fly so that it goes straight down the back. And I'm going to tie that down. And back down to the beginning of the fly. Right now I'm using fox squirrel or American squirrel, whichever you like to call it, for the body, and I've pulled some off to create a dubbing. It's quite fine. It has a few longer hairs in it, which we will brush out a little later on, just to give it a bit of volume. Not quite back combing, but more volume. And wind that up, keeping it tight up the body. I'll put a little bit more on there. To the bead. There's a bit of excess there. I'm just going to trim that off. Right, now take the 2 strands and pull them along the back to the bead and tie them down like so, and trim up the holographic. Now we're going to rivet with the red wire. Be careful not to overlap the holographic with the fibres of the hair. You only need 3 or 4 turns. Up to the bead and tie it off. And that should helicopter off, but it won't, so I'll trim it up. Yeah, I'll just make sure that remains on the top. There you can see it along the back. I'm just going to brush out now the fibres. But it's imperative that you keep the flashback visible. And now for the collar, I'm going to use a CDC feather. And it will be a natural brown CDC feather. Right. And all we're going to do is just pull off some fibres. Take off this rubbish at the bottom. Just a few from each side. And we're going to tie those in. On the top to create just a light collar and trim up the excess. This is more of a assignation of a collar. Right now we're using black thread, and so I'm going to create a black collar, an additional adornment, and I'm going to tie it off. And trim up the thread. And I'm just going to put a little dab of glue onto the thread to hold it in place. Yeah. I'll just give this another brush. And there's the fly finished, the red holographic flashback. As I said, I do like it in a 16, and that's what it looks like in a size 16. Exactly the same, but with a 2.8 bead and obviously a size 16 hook. Now this is a great little fly, as I said, at the beginning of the season, but certainly all the way through the year. Just going to trim up those fibres just a little bit at the end there. There you go. Very easy tie. Hope you enjoyed it. Do subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for viewing. Bye.